Good afternoon. Today I'm trying out new paper and I'll be painting some holiday florals with some of my favorite KMS colors. So this is a square block, 100% cotton paper. This is the brand. 20 sheets. Don't remember what I bought it for. It was a Black Friday deal, but nothing too expensive. Okay. If I like it, I will definitely get more of it. I do like the size. All right, I'm going to start with vanilla. That'll be one of my flowers. And then something dramatic next to it so it bleeds into it. So this one I'll make a sort of 5-petaled flower. And I'll have it angled in such a way so it looks like it's facing away from us right there. So far I really like the texture of this paper. So I'm thinking I'm going to add some blue next to it. Maybe just some berries at first. So I've got blueberry cobbler here. Let's use Christmas traditions. I think I'm going to use this for a rose. So let me try and angle it this way. Got my messy, sort of thin line center. All those C curves in there. Pressing down a little bit more for my next layers. Adding more and more water. And then going back in with some more saturated color. I think it's time to add some leaves. I'm going to switch over to my Princeton petals brush. And I'm going to add some forest green in spaces between the flowers to use up some space. And also to connect my berries. Hi, hopeful optimist. How was your Monday? flower here. Monday was Mondaying. Yeah, I had students break out the calculator for light equations. I like teaching about the electromagnetic spectrum, but students don't really like doing math when they're not in math class right after a break. But I had a good day. CC, your Monday is going well. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, let's do one more flower facing down. Okay. And I'm going to add a little bud here. And maybe one here too. You get that your son talks about all his mathing, and I'm like, yes, econ PhD candidate. I remember that, yes. Someplace in the South, maybe not Virginia, North Carolina, Virginia, somewhere over there. Is that right? It was a while ago that you mentioned that. Georgetown, yes. I think it's the teacher in me, right? I try. It's helpful to remember names right away, building that connection. Plus, it's nice to be remembered, right? It feels good. I think that's true, even beyond school age. Okay. Oh, this is just such a cute beginning here. Maybe some more white buds over here, but I don't really want to keep it with the same color, so I'm going to do white bud over here. Let's do that. Let's mix up our colors now. Yeah, so far all these colors are my favorite KMS colors. I'm trying to be intentional and use them. We did a collaboration on a palette, so all of my favorite 6 matte colors and 6 metallic colors are going to come in one of these mini palettes. I still have a yellow that I haven't used that's part of my palette. I don't know if maybe I'll put yellow in the centers here, but that might make it look too spring-like. Anyway, back to vanilla. Probably end up adding a bit more green so it bleeds, because you can't really see it on its own. There we go. That's pretty. One of my favorite labs of the whole year is coming up. So if we're talking about light, we've got to talk about flame test colors. So I'm super excited about that. I think I'm going to add some smoky gray to the centers. Some of them are just drying up now, so if I tap them in, I'll have some bleeds and some not bleeding. That's exactly what I want. Yeah, flame labs are memorable, a little stressful, I must say, as a teacher. But can't do chemistry without the rainbow fire. So I've got my centers. Okay. Now I want maybe lighter green, nice frame. I could add some pine now, make it wintry. I think that's the direction I'm gonna go. All right, so let's see. I've got some cookie dough over here, which is a nice light brown. I think that'll be okay. Nice for some pine. Over here, maybe here as well. Okay, so far I'm really enjoying this paper. I'll probably end up getting more. All right. For my green, I'll use winter pine. I'm using my round 4 for this. Always a little on the messy side. So I must say it's smoother than my favorite bao hung, but as it's drying, you can kind of see there is a nice texture to it. Like you can kind of notice it here and here. Not as much texture as an arches or bao hung paper. So it is relatively smooth. That's a nice observation there. Yeah, I like it too. I'm not a huge fan of hot press paper. It's nowhere near that smooth. It still feels like a cold press paper should. I'll be adding this, I think, to my Amazon favorites for paper. This definitely belongs on my list. I'll get more of it. This was a Christy Rice recommendation. She was posting on it over on her Instagram page. And I thought, well, if it's on sale, I'll give it a shot. I was low on paper. And I haven't painted with a square block in a really long time. I do tend to have that shape that I naturally go to when I'm painting. Just kind of centralize my thing, so it works for me. I think I'm just about done here. I don't want to add way too much to this. It's a sweet one, that's for sure. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you, Catherine. Now that I finished that, this side needs a little bit of pine too. So maybe 1 or 2 coming up there just so it's balanced, right? We've got something extending beyond the flowers here. Thank you. I'm glad I added the pine. It really makes it more of a winter piece. I could push these colors and make it more of a spring piece if I had used that yellow, maybe some little yellow berries instead. So that's one of the reasons I like this combination of colors. The pine, I was using my Princeton 4, just to get the nice thin line. To start myself off, I was using the petals brush for the little branch, and then making the little pine needles with my 4. I think I have a smaller round somewhere, but I just didn't have that out. So quite a vertical hold on it, and then trying to always meet up with the little branch. But if it doesn't connect, that doesn't matter too much to me because it's a loose painting. You get the idea. So for this one, I might go back with the brown and make it bleed a little bit like this one, so the little branch is more visible. And then I'll add a bit more darker green in places. There we go. All right, now I'm going to take a look at it just to see if I want to add anything else. I think I'm done with this one. And I think the square size block is really helping me. I tend to paint a little bit to the left side of the paper. I'm not very centered when I paint, but this just visually is easier to see where the center of my paper is. So I think this is going to help me be a little bit more careful about that. So as for what else I could add to it, I could use some metallics. I could add a little bit of gold in there. Same with some shimmery color in the center. Something like pine cone, that sort of caramel color, almost a bronze, a little bit lighter than a bronze sparkle. That would look really good in there. I think I'm going to leave it as is. I really like it for the first time painting on this paper. This is the pad that I got, 8 by 8 inches, 140 pound, 300 GSM, 100% cotton. I like it. Definitely an enjoyable experience with it. And my colors were KMS. They'll soon to be released as a single palette December 2nd, so more details to come about that. I'm very excited to get my hands on my set, so I don't have to keep grabbing all my different individual palettes from KMS. So thanks so much for joining me today. I had a lot of fun. It was great talking with you, and I'm glad you had a nice Monday out there. Tomorrow, Tuesday, I should have more free time, so I should be able to paint after work again. No idea what I'll be painting, but I do have a few left for Traces with Palacios, the upcoming prompts for our Advent Calendar Challenge. So maybe one of them, or just maybe some more winter flowers before that starts. So thanks again for chatting, for being with me today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, everyone.